More than 200 people gathered in the Octagon on Saturday to protest the Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Agreement. It was one of several events nationwide held in the lead-up to the document signing in Auckland on Thursday. Jen Olsen is leading the local anti-TPP movement and she joins us to discuss the way forward. Good evening.
Good evening.
Now, the agreement is being signed on Thursday. Does that mean it'll be a done deal?
No, not at all. I mean, this is just part of a process that's likely to take between 18 months and 2 years before the treaty actually comes into force.
Does the agreement need to be signed in each participating country?
Well, this signing will be between the 12 trade ministers, but then each country will go through its own process in order to bring their own legislation in line with the treaty.
How can protests make a difference now?
Well, they can let people know that this is not the end of the road with the TPP, and they can actually bring out now the facts, more of the facts about the TPP, because the text is now openly available to be seen, whereas previously it was kept secret.
Which of the political parties are united against TPP?
Well, Labour has just come out against the TPP, which is great news. The Greens, Maori Party and New Zealand First have opposed the TPP right through. So
what are local MPs saying about it?
Well, they're saying that they don't believe that it's going to be good for New Zealand, that it will interfere with our ability to regulate on climate change and look after our environment, and it's likely to make medicines cost more.
Is the anti-TPP movement losing strength here in Dunedin?
No, not at all, no.
If it's signed, what more can opponents do?
Well, they can make submissions to the Select Committee process. That's the next part of the process in New Zealand, and we're encouraging all opponents to make submissions there. Then that is discussed in Parliament.
How do you think the government could have handled this better?
Well, I mean, the main thing I think would have been consultation. Consultation right the way through the process. But I also think that the timing of this signing 2 days before the Treaty of Waitangi is not very sensitive, considering that Maori have not been part of the consultation process for the TPP.
Some visiting TPP activists have been in Dunedin lately. Can you tell us about that?
Well, we had Professor Jane Kelsey, who's from Auckland University and is very knowledgeable about the TPP and its effects in New Zealand, and Laurie Wallach, who is from Public Citizen in the United States, and she was able to shed some light on how the TPP is progressing in the United States, which was very interesting.
Now, we've heard in the media last week that a local protester was visited by the police prior to the TPP protest in the weekend. Have you heard of any others being targeted?
No, I haven't actually, no. So, I mean, that person actually was able to speak at our meeting on Saturday and has not been put off from protesting by her visit.
What is the ultimate goal of anti-TPP protesters?
Well, we don't want to see the TPP come into force. Legislation will go through to bring New Zealand's laws into line with the TPP. We don't want to see that go through before we know that the TPP is going to be agreed with the United States, because we don't want to be left with legislation that supports the TPP and not end up with any of the benefits, small though they might be, that we might get. And if the United States don't pass the TPP, it's not going to come into force. They are one of the essential partners to it.
What's going to happen if we don't sign up to this agreement but other countries do? What are the negatives?
Well, that's a really interesting one, because trade will still be able to take place. We are already trading freely with our trading partners. Just because we have the TPP doesn't mean to say that other countries are going to preferentially buy New Zealand goods. But it does mean that we will still then maintain more rights to actually look after our own lawmaking and protection of our environment and our other unique New Zealand laws, which will come under threat with the TPP.
From the local anti-TPP movement, Jen Olsen, thanks so much for your time.
You're very welcome, thank you.